So we're going to start this class lying flat. If you'd like to make yourself comfortable. If you're comfortable with your legs extended, that's fine. Or you could bend your knees and stand both feet on the floor. And taking a little bit of time this morning to arrive. Taking time to notice your contact with the floor beneath you. And the quality of your natural breath this morning. Possibly having a sense of the involuntary nature of your breath, the fact that your body is simply breathing itself, without any intervention. It's nothing to do. And as you lie here in this simplicity, noticing what's here for you this morning, physically, energetically. Maybe your night or your weekend has left you with residues of memories, of thoughts. Maybe you have a busy day and week ahead. Simply taking note of what's here. Welcoming everything that's here without an urge to try and bring about any change right now. And once you've welcomed in your full presence, your full sense of presence, this might sound slightly contradictory, but asking yourself what you really need from this practice, but from a place of welcoming. Maybe with just one word, creating your sankalpa, your intention that can stay with you throughout the class, maybe throughout the day. So if your intention is settling gently into each cell of your body, helping you remember. And then on the next breath in, please just simply float your arms to vertical and then over your head to the floor behind you. And you might stretch a little bit from the toes to the fingers. And then as you breathe out, release the toes and the fingers and float the arms back down by your sides. And please continue like this for a few breaths, breathing in to float the arms up and over. Having a little stretch. And breathing out, floating the arms back again as you release your toes and your fingers. Fully aware of the sensations in your shoulders as you move the arm as in the sockets. The arm movement might be free and simple, or might be a little bit of obstruction. Next time you bring your arms over with an exhale, please bring your right knee with your hands over your chest. And then breathing in, release the arms and the leg, arms over your head. And bringing the right knee in again, but this time pushing through the left ankle, left heel, excuse me. And then you release the left leg as you release the right leg and the arms over your head, inhaling. And exhale again, knee over chest, pushing through that left ankle. Taking a full breath in to stretch out completely. And on the exhale, simply floating your arms all the way down beside your body. Breathing in to float your arms up again. And we're going to bring the right knee in again. Exhale. But this time I'd like you to lift your left heel off the floor and rotate the left foot out to the left, just a little. And then you rotate the foot back to vertical again. And inhale, lengthen the whole body. And exhale, bring your knee in. And you can lift your head towards your knee as you rotate your left foot out to the left a little. Lovely. So just bringing your leg about 5 centimeters off the floor, not too high. And take a few more like this. Lifting your head to your knee as your left leg just floats above the floor, rotating the foot out to the left. And taking one more in your own time. And we'll meet with our arms by our sides, both legs extended. Just taking a moment to notice if there's any difference between the two sides of the body. On the next breath in, floating your arms up and over. And on the breath out, bring your left knee in. That's all you're going to do. Don't worry about anything else. And on the second time, we extend. But as you bring your left knee in, push through that right heel a little bit. And take a couple more like this. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, you're going to lift your right leg just about 5 centimeters off the floor. And maybe rotate the foot out to the right a little. Just one like this. And then you rotate the foot to vertical, extend the whole body. And when you're ready, you do the same thing, but you gently lift your head towards the left knee, rotating that right foot out to the right a little. Really conscious of the tiny rotation in the right hip as the foot moves to the right. We'll see what you feel inside the thigh and the hip. Just doing one more. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, resting the whole body. Arms down by your sides. Noticing the quality of your breath and the support beneath you. And then please bring both feet to standing on the floor. So you bend your knees and consciously place each foot onto the floor. Arranging your feet in such a way that your sacrum, the back of your pelvis, just feels really settled. And I'd like you to press into both feet so that you feel your back flat and your side waist draw towards the floor. And then release. Just do that a few times. It's ever so simple. Press into both feet. And then release. Press into both feet. And then release. And maybe as you release now, you feel yourself rolling over your tailbone to pull a little arch into the lower back. It's like your knees are moving forwards, maybe your head moves. And then you press into both feet. Feel the lower back flatten. And continue for a few breaths. It's like you're pulling the spine as you spill the pelvis forwards, and you're pushing your spine as you press into your feet. And then one of these times, as you press into your feet, just press a little bit more so that the tailbone and the sacrum peel off the mat, but it's almost imperceptible. Not even lifting the vertebrae off. And breathe here, feeling your legs, maybe noticing the little muscles at the front of the hips. Breathe. Noticing if you're soft in the face. Maybe you're holding on to something. And then very gently allow the back of your pelvis to release back down into the mat again. So this time, and I'm not giving you a breath rhythm for this, I'm wanting you to just inquire into your own breath rhythm. You're going to press into your feet, and just as the tailbone begins to peel off the floor, begin to float your arms over your head, then the back of the pelvis, and now you can peel as many vertebrae as feels right to you. But I'm most interested in you differentiating between the vertebrae rather than coming to the strongest back bend. And then you gently float the spine back down as your arms come down by your sides. And take a few more of these very delicate, conscious moving bridges. It's lovely to feel or to imagine the spine as a chain of pearls, or as a necklace of a thread of pearls, I should say. Each one gently lifting away and then each one gently releasing back down towards the floor. Fabulous. Next time you're down, please stay down. We'll do something a little bit stronger here. You could have a choice with your arms. You could flatten your palms down into the floor by your sides. Or some people might be able to just lift the back enough to be able to slide the arms underneath the back, but you're rolling each shoulder outwards so that you can interlace your hands. Don't worry if this isn't right for you. But what this does is it gives you a bit of a shelf, a bit of a lever with the upper arms and elbows to push into and into the hands. And then you're going to lift yourself up. So this is a slightly different style now, slightly stronger. And as you come as high as feels right for you, a little squeeze into the shoulder blades and allow the chin to roll back rather than in towards your chest. And I want you to press into both feet so you begin to feel the strength of your legs, your side waist lifting. And take a few breaths here in this stronger Setubandha Shavasana, bridge pose. Throat is open. And if your hands are interlaced, please release them. Take a breath in. Spread your shoulder blades and then exhale. Slowly come down bone by bone. And if intuitively it feels like the right thing to do, you can float your knees over the chest, have a little hug. I'm going to do one more variation of this back bend. So we start with our feet on the floor. And again, you have the choice of your arms flat or just bringing them interlaced, your hands interlaced under your back. And then you push into your feet, strong legs to help you lift as high as you feel is good. A little squeeze of the shoulder blades. And I want you to become really firm in the left leg, pressing the left foot as if through the floor. And then come onto your right big toe. And then see if you can float the right knee in towards you. If it's possible, you could straighten that right leg pointing towards the ceiling. And then take the right big toe to the left knee. Do this a couple of times. Keep lifting the side waist. Keep pressing through that left foot. And then when you're ready, release. And we'll come down for a rest in between the legs. Release the hands, the shoulder blades. Gently come down. Breathe. And then when you're ready, maybe interlacing your hands behind you. Little squeeze of the shoulder blade, open throat, and lift yourself as high as you're going to go. And then you consciously press into the right foot as you come to the left big toe, and then float the left knee in towards you. Keep strong in that right leg. As you straighten the left leg, point towards the ceiling, toe to the knee. It's like synchronized swimming. Not that I've ever done that. Just 2 or 3 times, noticing how this affects your breath. And then when you're ready, lower the foot down. Release your hands, spread your shoulder blades. And come all the way down. And then please bring both knees into the chest and hold them wide apart with your hands. And have a very subtle, gentle rock from side to side, feeling where the rock brings the back of your body into contact with the floor. And then if you could bring your knees together and begin to circle each knee in the opposite direction. And your circles could be tiny, they could be bigger. And then please take them in the opposite direction. Until you're ready to take your feet to the floor and slide your legs long if it's comfortable, just to take a little rest here. Breathe and settle. And from here, we're just going to very simply roll over onto our fronts. And then push into the hands to bring yourself back to a child's pose. And your knees could be together, they could be apart. And please have your head resting on the floor or on your hands. And as you breathe here, you can probably really feel your back. You want it to become really soft in the shoulders and the back of the ribs. Maybe having a sense of dropping a little, dissolving a little towards the floor, through the floor. And then sliding yourself all the way onto your belly with your forehead resting on both hands. And your legs could be together or they could be a little bit apart. And I'd love you to bring your attention to your shoulder blades, just at the back of your ribs where the shoulder blades meet. I think we did this in the last class. I'm going to imagine you have the neck of a horse, so much longer than we usually think of our neck, starting all the way back down here between the shoulder blades. And this is a subtle practice just to bring a little bit more sensation and mobility into the thoracic spine. You're going to keep your hands on the floor, and you're going to use your eyes in this practice. So just begin to slide your nose on your fingers so that you can then see the floor behind your fingers, beyond your fingers. And then keep going as you look along the floor. And then maybe you come to a vertical line and you follow that. But you're moving from the space in between the shoulder blades in a very delicate curve. And you probably won't go very far. And then with your eyes, you trace yourself all the way back down. And that's all I'd like you to do for a few breaths. A lot of us have very restricted mobility in this part of the spine. Not in a hurry, but just really feeling into where there's resistance. Not having a sense that coming up really high is better than coming up low. Breathing. Another thing you might notice as you gently lift and come down like this is what other parts of the body do you feel in contact with the floor? What other parts of the body are supporting you? Beautiful. And then please rest your head on the mat and slide both arms long out in front of you. We're going to come into a little bit of a diagonal movement. Doesn't have to be high. But on the next breath in, I'll guide you into the breath. You're going to lift the left arm and the right leg. If your head lifts, that's fine. You might find yourself pressing into the right arm and the left leg. And on the exhale, you gently float down. You do that 3 times in this diagonal, left arm, right leg. Conscious from your fingers to your toes. And do one more, making it your last one. Resting your forehead down. And becoming aware of the diagonal from your right arm to your left leg. And when you're ready, lifting those. And you might find the other arm and leg press a little into the floor. Only lift your head if that's right for you. Exhale, come down. 3 more. Making the next one your last one. And then as you come down, place the side of your head, either side of your head on the floor, and slide your arms down beside your body now. And take your feet a little bit wider apart. The heels can be turned out, the toes in. And breathe. And then we roll our head so that the forehead is down again. And bearing in mind the 2 diagonals, this long horse's neck, just in your mind's eye or in your body's eye. On the next breath in, begin to peel up the head and the chest, but allow your legs and your arms to float up. Really spread your fingertips and your toes, breathe out. Take another breath in, the whole of the back of the body activated, innervated. And as you breathe out, come down. And the next breath in will come up again. And take a 2 or 3 breaths here, really feeling the life of the back of your body and the opening in the front of your body. Smiling in your mouth and your collarbones. And on the next breath out, come all the way down to your forehead. We're going to do one more. For this one, slight variation. I'd like you to bend both knees first. So the feet are just towards the ceiling. We're not going to try and hold on to the feet, don't worry. And this time, just come onto your chin rather than your forehead. Feel that long neck. Feel the contact with the floor. And we'll start with a breath in. And then on the breath out, lift the chest, the arms, maybe your legs lift a little. And it's as if you're reaching back for your shins. Strong back. And breathe here. You need to really press your pubic bone down. Take a full breath in. And this time as you release everything, lie the other cheek on the floor and have a rest. It's quite nice just to wobble your bottom, your hips from side to side. Releasing any compression, any tension from the lower back in particular. And then with your hands by your ribs, just gently pushing to all fours and coming into child pose. and breathe. Just noticing what you feel here. I have a really quite vivid impression and sensation in my spine at the back of the ribs, the thoracic. I don't always feel this. But notice where you feel your spine. It could be anywhere. From here, you just slide your hands a bit forwards. We're going to curl the toes under. And we take the weight back towards the heels. Arms out in front and the neck is relaxed. And take a moment to feel the little stretch at the back of the toes and the feet. Breathe as you quieten here. Then you can begin to lift your knees about 5 centimeters. You can begin to move your bottom back with your belly on your thighs. And you slowly, slowly unfold into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. And then you bend and fold all the way back down again, conscious, slowly opening and closing your downward dog. Keep going. If it's too much, you rest in child. And it would be normal in the morning to feel really, really quite tight in the back of the legs. But don't be in any hurry to unravel that tightness. Just notice it. Be with it. One of these times you come up, you might like to stay up for a few breaths, just feeling your way. You could walk out your dog. Try not to grip with your fingers. And taking a full breath in. And as you exhale, please steadily drop your knees to the floor. And bring your right foot forwards. So a couple of things here. You really want your right knee to be directly above the ankle. And if the left knee is painful in any way, you could double up your mat, or you could place a blanket under your mat. And I would love for you, actually, let's first of all just dangle our arms down by our sides. So there's a little bit of a balance going on. Need a little bit to work with steadiness here. And we're going to float the pelvis forwards as the arms float up, as if you're catching a beach ball and you can look up towards it. And then steadily you come back again. The pelvis draws back, your vine becomes vertical. Arms by your sides and then float them up. And take time to really feel the life in the front of the body, supported by the muscles of the back of the body. Now, if this is already enough for you, you can continue doing a little bit of this, or just rest with your hands on your knee. But I'd like to add a variation, show you here. Some of you might be able to take both hands to the back of the ribs. If that's not possible, you can just take one hand, because sometimes one shoulder's stiff. No, if that's not possible, just take both hands to the lower back. Just want to be able to feel the shoulder blades. If you've not done this with me before, just have a little watch. As the pelvis floats forwards, you might notice that the back of the ribs and shoulder blades press in to the hands. Maybe your palms come together if both hands are there. But then as you straighten, you actually then look down and you push the back of your ribs into your hands so that they open like butterflies' wings. So you're using your ribs and your spine to open and close your hands. Keep going. A few times. It's too much for the wrists, you can release. And again, not being in a hurry to extend into the strongest pose possible, but feeling your way, feeling the little flow that we're creating here. Okay. And then release the hands, maybe roll the shoulders, circle the wrists. Take both hands around that front foot. And then I'd like you to move the left knee a little bit further out to the left and curl your toes under. If you need to place your hands on bricks here, that was okay. I'll just show you what we're going to do. You're going to rock forwards a little, maybe your chest lifts. As you rock back and you look down at that right foot, can you maybe lift the left knee a little? And you begin to take the weight back. You don't have to straighten both legs, but you can. Then you come back down. Lift the chest. You've got that long horse's neck, remember? Bowing down, coming down over that front leg. Feel your way. You could come a tiny way, or you could come a long way and straighten both legs. It's entirely up to you. Breathe and move slowly and consciously. Let's just do one more. Like I say, it's not necessary to straighten both legs. It's the articulation that's important. And then when you've brought the left knee down, gently change sides. Take your time to arrange yourself. Front knee over the ankle. Cushion for the right knee. And we just start with the arms dangling to have a sense of the flow of the pelvis floating forwards and the arms floating up. And then the pelvis floating back and the arms coming down by your sides. Breathe. Okay, and you can continue like this, or you can take one hand behind your ribs or both hands. And you continue the floating of the pelvis, but now maybe you feel the pressure on your hands. And as you draw the pelvis back, you look down and your hands open over your lower back, upper back, excuse me, or the ribs. And continue. With the delicacy in your wrists and hands as if they were butterflies' wings. Breathe. I'm just doing one more. And when you release, possibly rolling your shoulders, circling your wrists. Looking good. And then taking both hands down either to the floor or to bricks. And curling your right toes under and just shunting that right knee a little bit and foot a little bit further to the right. I'm just looking to have more distance but horizontally between the feet. And then you gently float forwards, your chest will lift. And as you roll back, you begin to lift the back knee off the floor and your weight comes forwards over the front leg. And gently moving in and out of these. Breathing and being really quite loose. It's looking really good. One of these times, when both legs are either straight or just as straight as they're going to be, just looking forwards and bend into that left knee. And it may be with the right foot, you just bring it with little steps forwards, or you bring it in one stride to standing next to the right foot. And we meet in Uttanasana, standing forward fold. And take this opportunity to take some delicious rolls into your shoulders. In one direction and in the opposite direction. Lovely. And then press into both feet, bend the knees a little and gently unroll the spine. Spinal roll. All the way up. Head comes up last. Take a moment just to feel yourself standing here. And please take a step back with your left foot, not too far. And a little bit like with the knees, the feet, we want them a little bit wider apart, so you're not walking a tightrope. Arms floating by your sides. First of all, really feel both feet. Your hips aren't swiveling, you're trying to face the long end of the mat. And then as you bend into the front knee, the back leg stays straight, you float up your arms just like you did with your knees on the floor. And then you come back again. So this is Virabhadrasana, one variation, warrior one. Now you know what's coming. You could continue like this, or you could take your one or both hands to the back of your ribs, getting a lot of work into the shoulders like this. So that as you bend into the front knee, your pelvis floats forwards. Maybe you feel a little squeeze on the hands and the wrists. Maybe you look up if you have the balance. And then you straighten that front leg. Your palms open. Maybe you come down a little bit. Slowly finding your way. Really firm on the feet. Okay, and the next time you're up, please stay up. Hands either on your lower back or one hand or both hands on the back of your ribs. And just have a little look down at that front foot. Is it straight? Is it quiet? And bring the weight forwards into that foot so that your left heel lifts And you're just into the left big toe. And this may be where you stay, or you may continue this fulcrum, taking the weight forwards, and maybe the back leg floats up. Breathe here. It's all right to bend the standing knee a little. Have a little squeeze of your shoulder blades. Breathe. Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3 variation, really great for strengthening the leg bones, leg muscles. Take a full breath in and then gently float back delicately the way you came. Release your arms, roll the shoulders and take both feet together. Beautiful. When you're ready, take the right foot back. Arrange your feet so there's space between them. And feel both feet resolute, connected. And when you're ready, we just come into that floaty warrior 1. Bend into the front knee, the arms float up, and then come back again. And this may be where you stay with this pose, or maybe you bring your hands, one hand or two hands to the back. Like butterfly's wings, and as you come forwards, your ribs press against your hands to open them. Please don't come into the fullest expression possible of this, but hang back a bit as you give yourself the space and the time to feel it. You feel the strength of the back leg and the foot firmly planted on the floor. Can you feel the way in which the weight pours forwards into the front foot sometimes? Beautiful. Let's meet vertical. Just check in with that front foot. Is it straight? Is it quiet? And begin to bring your weight into that foot as the right heel peels up on your right big toe. And you're looking to the floor and forwards as you take more weight into that front leg, allowing the back leg to either stay where it is or float up. Breathe here. Take a full breath in, and then you delicately come back the way you came. Release your arms, a little circle. And take a moment, your feet together now, just to feel both feet firmly planted. And breathe here. Hope you're doing okay. Okay. I'd like you to bring all your weight into your left foot and leg. So we've done some balancing, but we're going to bring everything we've done, the back bending, the leg strength, into beautiful standing back bend balance. You're going to simply hold onto your right foot so the heel comes to the buttock. If you need to take your left hand to a wall, please do. And just make sure that both of your knees are together, or as close as together as they can be. If you can, you then float the left arm up. I've got the pads of my thumb and forefinger lightly together. And take a few breaths here, really buoyant as you press into that standing foot, having a sense of a lift up from the floor. Beautiful. And then I'd like you to release that. Hands to hips, release the foot down. We'll take it to the other foot. So this is just the first stage on each foot. Excuse me. Take the left foot behind you. It's really important that your knees come as close together as they can for the protection of the tissues of the knees. Your right hand is either on the wall or you're lifting to vertical. And find the strength and also buoyancy through that standing leg. Breathe. It's important to have the eyes fixed in one spot, your drishti. Keep it light. Take a full breath in. And then gently release. Have a little shake. So if balance isn't your thing and this is new to you, you could repeat what we've just done. But I'll give you the next stage if you're interested. So we're going to bring the right foot up, lift the left arm, and just be aware that the standing knee could be just soft. You don't need to lock it out. And then you begin to take the torso forwards, the weight forwards, and you can push that raised foot into the hand as you pull the hand into the foot. Look ahead, open chest, all that strength in the back we've been creating. And breathe. Virabhadrasana, dancer's pose. Breathe, soft face. And when you're ready, slowly come out the way you came. And please take that to the other side. One thing I should say, if you're coming forwards with the torso and the leg is back, try not to allow the knee to come out to the side, but keep it in. Beautiful. Just a little bit longer, breathing. It's all fantastic for strengthening the standing leg. And when you're ready, gently come out. It's pretty tough. Have a little shake of your hands, a shake of your feet. Before we come down, I just want us to feel the effect and standing of this stronger work again. So I like to take one hand over my chest, one hand over my belly. But that's just, there's no big meaning in that, it's just my choice. It's the way I connect with my body and my breath, feel through the feet, and maybe close your eyes. And notice what's here now. And in your own time, you'd like to come to lying on your backs with your feet standing on the floor. Your feet wide apart and your knees coming into the center so that they knock in the center, feet wide apart, mat distance apart. You can take your arms wherever you like. And allow yourself to become super soft. Maybe gently roll your head from side to side. Not trying to go anywhere or get anywhere, but feeling the neck, the head. And then looking towards the ceiling, And allowing the right knee to slide down towards the left ankle, and the left knee will fall out to the side. And then take your eyes to the right if that's good for you. And we come back starting with the left knee, slowly lifting it so the tops of your thighs cross and you look towards the ceiling. And then slowly sliding the left knee down towards the right ankle as the right knee falls out to the side and your head rolls to the left. I'll leave you for a few moments to slide from side to side, very gentle. And if it feels good when you get to one side, you could stay for a few breaths. But it's not necessary. We're unraveling now. We're not looking for the biggest pose possible. Notice the movement through the whole body. It's gentle spiraling. And at some point, come back to neutral and allow your knees to float into your chest. They could be together, they could be apart. And today I feel like circling both of my knees in the same direction, but I'm happy for you to do opposite directions. What we're looking for is a very gentle movement of the head of the thigh bone into the hip socket. But more importantly, right now, we're soothing out any tension in the lower back. Maybe you can feel the back of your ribs. And at some point, reversing the direction of the circles. Until you're ready to prepare for your relaxation. If there's anything else you feel you want to add, you want to do, please make sure you're warm enough. You can always be sitting if you prefer. And I suspect, but I might be wrong, that as you come to settle, you come back to the place where we started, and you drop into noticing how you feel in the body. Maybe you recall your intention, and you notice the flow of a natural breath. That maybe something has changed during this hour, but maybe not. Take your time to rest and to breathe and to notice. And you're welcome to stay as long as you like. It is 8:30. stay here a few more moments and bring you out, but I understand completely if you need to move and leave already. If you're ready to move on with your day, beginning to take a few slightly deeper breaths. Maybe roll your head gently from side to side. And taking any gentle movements as you transition. Slowly, slowly out of your Shavasana or meditation seat. Maybe rolling to one side until you're ready to come up to sitting. Taking these final few moments to simply observe what's here. And taking a full breath into the heart space. And allowing the breath out to bring your chin to your chest, emptying your lungs completely. Until you're ready to breathe in again. Gently lifting the face, opening your eyes. Thank you very much. Namaste.